What? Check. Yes, you can throw out just throw right in the bucket at 12 o'clock and pull the names out. We are live in 1 minute, everybody. 1 minute. We're watching on Facebook and YouTube. If you can let us know if the sound is okay.
Not okay. It's going to be okay now, though. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube and you can let me know how the sound is, that'd be great. Yes. Please put your name in the tin there. Your choice today of valet parking passes, 2 big margaritas, or 2 beach chairs and umbrellas. Thank you very much. Everybody that's watching on Facebook. All right.
Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Terrace on Fort Myers Beach, 100 feet from the Gulf of America. Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
The speaker has a life of its own. Now it's off. All right. Is it completely off now? Can you guys hear? Is it off? Completely gone. Right? We're going to have to work on the speaker for 2 minutes, so stay tuned on the Facebook land. Stand by.
See, it wasn't me. That thing's possessed.
Do me a favor, sit in the chair.
Hello. You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? I can hear me now. Folks, just 1 minute because... Turn what? I'm trying to pay attention to you. Turn number 4. Oh my God. Somebody help me, please. Jesus, take the wheel. Or Buddha or somebody. Is that better now, dear? Are you all set? 3 hours you're here. Why can't you just leave it the way it is? I didn't. Oh, now, okay. Now he's blaming me. What, did I do anything over there? I was trying to adjust it and I was saying, and he was giving me a hard time about it. And now look. Somebody put the whammy on this show. Hello. I don't know. Keep talking. Oh, well, let's see. We had such a good time last night. We went out on a date. Okay, we're going to turn it up a little at a time. Okay, that was 1 click, 2 clicks, 3, 4. 4 is too much. 4 is too much. That's when it goes crazy. Then it's down to 3 and it doesn't work. Nope. Well, I can hear, if I turn it up to 4, that's when it goes crazy. I know. It's okay, and then it's off. Yeah. Clear. Yeah. Huh? I think that the
No speaker's bad. All righty. Let's see. All right. Well, we're just gonna do the show. We're gonna do the show on Facebook and YouTube because we obviously we blew out the speaker. So you can see how test 1 2, test 1 2. I know something is going on. Check.
This is really only our second show, so that's okay. Listen, if it was me in charge, we wouldn't even be sitting here. So I shouldn't give him a hard time. It's just like equipment failure.
This level of unprofessionalism.
Who said that?
I think the sound
Now Sue says no sound at all.
Latest that we've ever done the show. So, all right, now, how about now, Greg? I reconnected the correct sound is what I think. And so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to restart the show.
This is Beach Talk Radio. This is Beach Talk Radio.
All right, here we go.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America.
Now they can't hear us at all.
All ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene.
All right, grab your mic.
Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm,
What number is that?
naval alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Check.
Ladies
I'm checking
and
in.
gentlemen, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Terrace on Fort Myers
It's so
Beach,
nice to have everyone
100 feet
here.
from
Everyone's
the
taking
Gulf of America.
Everything's good
Here
out on
are your
Facebook. man.
award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
All righty. Thank you very much. The sound is good out on Facebook and YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to work on the speaker while we introduce our guest, Lee Melsek. Lee, come on down. Big hand for Lee out in the live studio audience. All right, Lee. How are you, Lee?
What would you like to know?
Is this guy over?
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down, Lee.
Harassing you and following you around.
You got to get close with the mic. Get close with the mic.
Be careful. He knows what to do.
I have a good friend who's a cop.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I might need his name.
You give me a call.
Okay. Because nowadays the
test.
stalking things, they're out there. So you can really have a seat.
Yes.
All right. Well, here, scooch back on there. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people, everybody knows who you are. But for the
Really?
few that might not know, tell us a little bit about your history here on the beach. I mean, I know it's all in the book, but gives us a synopsis. So get people up to.
We have
Up
a lot
to
of
stuff.
viewers, do we?
We do. We have thousands. No, 108.
All right. Well, please buy my book because I want to be next door to Jack Nicholson in Beverly Hills this time next year.
Wow, you jumped right to it. So tell us a little bit more about
I
yourself.
expect to be sitting with Jack at the Beverly Hills Country Club sipping margaritas a year from now.
No,
My
well, we'll
name
try
is,
and we'll try and get that to happen.
My name is Lee Melsek. I arrived on the beach in 51 with my parents from Northern Illinois. Anybody out there from Woodstock or McHenry?
They'll probably chime in on Facebook.
We arrived here when there were about 800 people on the island, and not a lot of tourists came here in those years.
So when you first arrived, it was the swing bridge, or how did you?
No, it was the swing bridge.
Okay.
The swing bridge went in 27. It was brought down from Ohio. It was put together in 27. Before that, between 21 and 26 was an old wooden drawbridge.
Wow.
That some business people from Fort Myers had built. And that opened Fort Myers Beach to commerce in 21. A guy from Fort Myers built the first hotel. But as you'll see in my book, a lot of the first business people were women.
Yeah, you mentioned they were like
And
single.
a lot of them were single women, divorcees, women whose husbands had died, brought their children down here. How they found it is still a bit of a mystery in some cases to me. I'm still not sure how my dad found it. The shrimp industry opened here in 50 and became a major industry in Lee County. The other major industry was gladiolas and farming, but my dad came here because the shrimp industry had opened. He became a shrimp broker. But anyway, the island was about 800 people. Everybody knew one another. We had, throughout the 50s, we had small storms every year. A couple of small hurricanes. It was a very close community. Everybody got together, helped board up one another's houses.
Where did you live back then? Like what street?
I grew up on Pearl Street. There's a chapter.
I love Pearl Street.
There's a chapter in my book about entitled Pearl Street. I grew up in Pearl Street on Pearl. The little house, only 2 feet off the ground, is still standing after Ian.
Wow.
It withstood Donna in 60.
Who built that? Because that builder needs to come back. That was
built in the early 40s. I believe it was the early 40s. It was knotty pine. Like after a while, it's like concrete. And it's still there. I'm amazed it's still there. But I grew up on Pearl Street. Went to Beach Elementary, and I'm an alum. I bought the shirt. I'm an alum. I contributed. I hope everybody out there contributes. Buy your T-shirts. I went through Beach Elementary. There's a chapter in the book about Beach Elementary in the 50s. It was just a wonderful place to raise a family. You had, as I'm sure the people who live here now know, you had the Gulf of Mexico from your front door, and you had that ancient bay for your back door. Well, Where else can you do that?
Right.
Where else can you do that? So I lived here 62 years. I now live in North Florida, out in the country. And I like it up there. This, frankly, got a little too overwhelming for me. It's just overwhelming.
And when you were living here, you were working for the news press?
Oh, yeah. I was the investigative reporter at the News Press for 32 years.
Was there a lot of investigations that went on down here on the beach?
I did a couple real big ones down here.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Do tell. Yeah, that's got a...
That hotel down at Pink Shell is standing where it's standing today instead of on 9 acres of Bowditch Point Park because of my investigation. The county was getting ready to give them 9 acres of Bowditch Point Park for the hotel, and until we
they can't hear you. Can you keep that closer?
Yeah.
There you go.
Until we at the News Press went to work and discovered that what they wanted to swap the vacant lot down here where the hotel is the other side of Atlantic High. They wanted to buy that. The owners of the Pink Shell at the time owned South Seas Plantation.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted to swap the land where the hotel eventually went to the county for 9 acres of Bowditch Point. Bowditch Point is 17 acres, the park. So they wanted to swap about an acre and a half for 9 acres.
For 9 acres. That's not a good deal.
And I got some tips, and we found out that in order to...
Were they tips? Like, did you get a phone call with a muffled voice, or did someone show up with a mask on and like slip you a piece of paper?
No, that's television stuff.
Oh, okay. It wasn't nearly that clandestine.
People I know. So they didn't need
Come
masks because
on.
I knew who they were. But anyway, the law at the time, I don't know if it's still the law in Florida, but the law at the time says that if a government is going to swap publicly owned land, the land they're receiving has to be at least worth the same value as the public land you're giving up. And when you looked at the lot down there and you looked at pristine,
Right. No way.
you knew that couldn't be. So they had to go they weren't even going to get appraisals in the beginning. So after my story broke, they had to go get appraisals. They got 3 appraisals, and 2 of them just laughed at the difference. There's no way.
Right.
So they had to back off, and the owners of Pink Shell at the time had to build the hotel condo where they built it. But it was it was very close to being on 9 acres of Bowditch Point Park.
Now, when you were working for the news press all that time, were you living on the beach the entire time?
I was living on the beach. I lived out here, except when I was away at school at FSU. Yay, FSU. Go Noles. Except for those years I was here.
You gonna ask any questions, dear?
I'm totally perplexed by what's going on. Like, I have microphone 3.
Okay.
And it's completely off. So, I don't know where that's coming from. There we go. So something mechanically has
Did
gone.
I jinx you?
I don't know. It's never happened
weird.
like
You
this
put
before.
Like a little. I'm
Great.
reading a ghost story, and this is starting to feel like.
But you guys can hear out here, right?
Yeah.
You guys can hear okay without feedback. So, something is drastically wrong that I need to fix. So Lee, this whole I do want to get your opinion on this whole thing with the with FEMA and
Wow, you're
before we get
jumping
into
like
the specifics of the
500
book, because I know you've been very vocal about the FEMA
Well, not
thing.
vocal. I do that on your newsletters responses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here today to talk about my book.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you don't want to say anything about that?
Well, I'll just say this. For decades here on Fort Myers Beach, FEMA's agreements with the town government have been here. They've been set in stone. The people and a lot of the business people on Fort Myers Beach knew what the rules were. They knew what the rules were. And
You mean the FEMA rules?
sure,
Okay.
and the town rules.
Okay.
Okay. The town codes, the FEMA regulations. You're sitting in the middle of a special flood zone.
Yep.
Certain things had to be built certain ways. They knew that. And they chose to push the limits to see how far they could go. And they lost. But they weren't the ones who lost. 5,000 property owners of Fort Myers Beach lost their deduction of their flood insurance rates. 5,000 property owners because of what a few business people did. The mayor and I have been around and around on that. I'm sorry that you have a council here today that doesn't accept accountability. Okay? They just don't seem to accept accountability. They cost those 5,000 property owners of this island the deduction on their insurance.
Stop messing with it.
And that's where you're at. And it's really that simple. I know the mayor likes to make it very convoluted and blaming FEMA for everything. Everybody here knew what the rules were. Okay? And that's where you're at today.
You sure you don't want to say anything about it?
No.
All right.
It does. It upsets me, but that's over. My book.
Yes. Talk about your
My
book.
book does not deal with politics. For those who don't like my politics, I'm sorry, but it doesn't deal with politics. It deals with Fort Myers Beach in the 50s, what we were, how we lived, who we were, except for one chapter that delves into the battle for Estero Bay in 1970, when the Rockefeller and Kennedy money came here with a man by the name of Bob Troutman and tried to build a 100,000 population city on the banks across the bay. And he tried for about 3 years. I covered all of that as a journalist. I covered him for the news press. They built Bay Beach. They tried to build the city of 100,000. In 1977, that would have been more people than the populations of Fort Myers and Cape Coral combined. So the wonder of that whole scenario that went on for 3 years with the county commission was that it was the only time I've ever seen practically every environmental organization in the state of Florida come together right here in Lee County and fight it. Mm-hmm. And they won. In the end, 3 years later, in a big meeting at the exhibition hall downtown Fort Myers, the county, with thousands of people there, the county commission finally voted 3-2 to disallow what they wanted to do. They were going to rip up miles of
mangroves.
And thousands of acres and miles of mangroves. They were going to go into Estero Bay. They lost 3-2, but not before a hell of a good fight.
So Lee, how did you come up with Finding Huck? What is that name about?
Well, I was going to title it Island Sun, but I thought that was a little pretentious. S-O-N.
Yeah, I was going to say, not S-U-N, right?
That was pretentious. So, because of a couple of the chapters where I meet my first buddy, my first kid after landing here in this island, that it was a dead-end island. There was no bridge on the other side. You were 20 miles from the nearest conveniences, modern conveniences, the city of Fort Myers. You're 100 miles from the metropolises of Miami and West Palm Beach. So I met this kid, and his bare feet were as large as the grin on his face, and I thought, this is Huckleberry Finn. I've just met Huckleberry Finn. He talked like him. So he was, I was 7 and he was 8. And so I decided to name it Finding Huck. And I pretty much described him in one of the chapters. But the book...
how long did it take you to write the book?
Well, I started the book way back when you guys first started at...
Pete's Time Out?
Pete's Time Out. You had me on.
Yeah.
And I had floated a couple of chapters on your Facebook, on your page. And people seemed to like it. So I thought, well, I'll write a book. Well, life happened.
Mm-hmm.
Suffice it to say, I had to put it down for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked it up again about last October. And I finished it last October. The publishing company accepted it in January, and it just came out last week. I had a lot of problems with the publishing company. Maybe you shouldn't deal with publishing companies.
The self-published, yeah.
Yeah, Ellie Newton over here
Yep.
has a good book on the icons of Fort Myers Beach. She's, by the way, the president of the Historic Society, where I was once president there. And she's sitting right here. You can buy your book from her, and she's self-published, I believe. You know? Yeah.
I think so.
So the next time, if there is a next time, I'll self-publish. It's just a lot of problems. Let me give you one silly little example.
Do it.
I figured out that they use AI to edit.
Oh, brother.
Oh, yeah. I know how to spell the city of Fort Myers, M-Y-E-R-S. Fort Myers Beach, M-Y-E-R-S. The intelligence folks, the intelligence robot changed every one of those to M-E-Y-E-R-S. And they were going to print the book that way. And I said, no, you're not.
Right. That's wrong.
Unfortunately, for anybody who reads it, there is one last M-E-Y-E-R-S in the book. So
they just had to leave that in there, just like a blank you to you.
I had a beautiful aerial shot of the island. They screwed it all up, the color. They're not very good with color. I hope you buy it. It's how we lived, who we were, why we were here.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sentimental.
Yes, you are.
I know.
So,
Except when you get me on
Flip it back to politics.
on your
I can't
stuff.
go.
On your stuff.
yeah, there's some posts on my page that you don't really seem sentimental at all.
And Kim is trying to get you straightened out,
That's going to
and you're railing at Kim.
take a lot of help. Yeah.
I try to reel him in all the time, despite.
Well, I told Kim as I came on that if I asked if this guy over here next to her was still following her around and harassing her.
30 years,
Yeah.
Lee,
She said,
30 years.
I tried to harass her last night, but she said no go and locked the door.
Well, that's more than we need to know.
Well, that'll stop your tears right there, and it'll start mine right away.
I told Kim I have a very good friend who's a cop. And if she needs me, just give me a call.
All right.
So your book.
I just want to say you kind of put a little teaser out there that there might be that you might write another book. So would you pick up where this one left off? And
That's what
that would
if
be a
I
great
did,
idea.
it would be. Maybe we'd go into the 60s and 70s. There is a chapter. I couldn't resist it because I'm still angry about it. There's a chapter in this book about what Lee County was. And Lee County was a Jim Crow county in the 50s.
Did he pitch for the Yankees, Jim? Oh, that was Jim Cott.
No, he harassed and killed black people in the city of
Oh boy.
Fort Myers in Dunbar.
Really?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the city of Fort Myers is a little over 1/3 of the population has long been black folk in Dunbar, in the east side of the city. I covered that a lot. I investigated a lot of stuff out there when I was a reporter. I know a lot of people out there. What this county was from the time we landed here in 51, through the 80s, all the way to the 80s, what was going on with the police department, with the government, was despicable. And so there's a chapter on the evolution of the Jim Crow era in Fort Myers. And there's a chapter on the 70s when Troutman tried to build the city on the bay. The rest of it, there's some pretty funny stuff. I mean, I know how to loosen up, and there's some funny stuff in that book, not the least of which is what happened to my mom, her first introduction to the South, the Deep South. There's some pretty funny stuff. I hope you buy the book. It's a fun book to read. It's not very expensive. You can get it from Amazon for, I think they put a $16.95. You can read it, and Monica Lynn over here read it in 3 hours.
That means that means it'll take me 3 days.
This is one of the people I dedicated the book to. For those of you who don't know Monica Lynn, she's this island's dolphin lady out there.
She's the fairy pod mother.
Yes. The Matanzas Pass dolphins are all protected by this lady over here.
We got to get her like a sheriff style hat for when she's out there with her bullhorn telling people to slow the heck down. I know.
Now, Ed, you have, as I understand it, 4,000 members of this thing, right? About 4,000?
Yeah, give or take a few.
How far up north are they? Are they in Minnesota?
Yeah.
And Illinois and Indiana?
Some of the followers
we've said over time, I think everybody that visits Fort Myers Beach comes from all over the country. I think a lot of people from Wisconsin, Ohio, Minnesota, Michigan, you know.
Why you leave Michigan and Ohio out? OH.
So.
And they pretty much do what you tell them to do.
No, I don't think anybody does that. Nor should they. Nobody should ever do anything I tell them to do.
Would you like us to tell them to buy the book?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, then in that case,
we can do.
We can issue some marching orders. Listening to you for as many years as I had, that they pretty much do what you tell them to do.
That's not true. But in this case, I hope they go to Amazon, put in Finding Huck, and purchase your book. Or you can go to Annette's Book Nook. I don't know if she has them in, but she will have them in Santini Plaza.
Annette has them in. When Anita gets back from Spain.
She's been like that for 3 months. I mean, she spends half the year now.
She goes over there all the time.
Yeah.
It's a long trip.
When she gets back from Spain, she promised me she'd put some in.
Oh, very nice.
I don't know if I can get any in this hotel or not.
Did you ask? We know people.
You know people.
Yeah, we know people.
Yeah. You might be.
They have a nice bookstore. They have a nice store upstairs, and they stay. That would be a great addition to their store. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Here's what I want to do. I don't have many copies with me today. I'm going to be ordering about 50 or 100.
Sweet.
I have to pay for those, but I get 50% off. But I want to donate the little bit I have with me today to selling, and you see that the money goes to the Christine Brown.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much for that. Yes, for those that don't know, Christine died in a car crash about a week and a half ago, and there was a big fundraiser all over the island last weekend, and about $20,000 was raised. So that was very nice of you, Lee. We'll be sure to pass the money off to Daniel over at Mr. Waves. Thank you.
Yeah,
now what do I get to do for the next hour?
Well, you get to you can enjoy yourself somewhere else.
You get to sit with all your fans.
Yes, that's right. All these people came to see you.
They all came to see you.
If anybody does want to buy a book, I have about 10 or 12.
Sweet.
But the money will go to. I'll give it to him, or you can give it to him. Just give it to him.
Yes, thank you. I got some here that I'm going to.
Books. He can sell them and give the money to the Christian.
Thank you very much, Lee. Big hand for Lee Melsek, everybody.
I gotcha.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Lee.
So much.
Dear, I'm going to need you, because I don't know what's going on, to turn the microphones off while I read the ads. And then we're going to have Heather from Moms come on. Yeah, for some reason, all those microphones were going out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two sponsors today. And one of the sponsors is the great Alex King. You see Alex's signs all over the place because Alex creates dreams and elevates lifestyles. And he's meeting with builders, design companies, contractors every single week, so you don't have to. If you want to buy or sell property here on Fort Myers Beach, give Alex King a call at 239-219-0336. That's 239-219-0336. And our friends at the Island Pancake House are back in action over at the Seagrave Plaza. If you have a chance and you want a great breakfast, please head on down to the Island Pancake House. They are open 7 days a week from 7:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, but they are willing to stay open. And the good part about all you beach visitors is the Island Pancake House has a full liquor license. And there's nothing better than pancakes and scotch if you're here on Fort Myers Beach. So stop on down and say hi to Brian and Stacy at the Island Pancake House located over in the Seagrave Plaza. All right, I'm going to have to cut that off cold because I have no idea what's going on here. So let me turn this down and give a big introduction to Heather Reagan from Moms down on Fort Myers Beach. Yeah, just turn it back up. And those of you that are watching on Facebook, just let us know every once in a while how the sound is because we're operating a little differently today. I have no idea what's going on. Totally frazzled by it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
So Heather, I was doing my little walk around this morning, and I came down. I went down with Ron Fleming, who's here to support you. I went down Del Mar. We came back up Pearl, and went out on the beach. And as I'm coming back on the beach, I saw you. Your line was gigantic this morning. It was packed. You were packed.
We have a great product. We treat people right. We give them a good value. We have a fabulous product, and we love what we do. We really do. And we've been doing it for 25 years on Fort Myers Beach.
Crazy.
I have built 2 iconic brands here on the beach, and I came from very humble beginnings. And to be able to be here and to live among the people here and work with them and hang out with them, I just love it.
What does humble beginnings mean?
Well, I grew up in a car.
Wow.
And my 3 siblings, my mother and I, and sometimes we would have to skip school and we'd pick up cans and bottles on the side of the road so we could get enough gas to keep the car running so we wouldn't freeze to death at night.
Where was this?
Where was this?
This was in Atlanta.
Wow.
So, and then Atlanta can have some very cold winters.
For sure.
And very hot summers. And sometimes we would go and pick whatever was in. I remember one time we picked muscadines, and to this day, I cannot eat a muscadine.
What is that? Is that a fish?
No, it's like a grape.
Don't they make wine out of
yeah,
it?
and it stinks. And we would go and get Krispy Kreme, stinky wine. And we would go and get Krispy Kreme donuts, and I'd stand on the side of the highway and sell donuts. And I would be like 6 years old with a stack of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Wow.
So,
that's
so to
incredible.
be able, so when I was in school, being really poor, you're kind of an outcast, and I never stayed in one school very long, so I started to read a lot, and I would kind of escape into these fantasies. And as I was growing up, I was like, I'm gonna live on the beach, and that's where I want to be. And as I became a teenager, I worked really hard and I started saving my money. And as I got a little bit older, I started looking actively outside of Atlanta. I had a great job there, and he begged me to stay. And I said, I need a beach, take away the traffic, and get rid of the smog. So,
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
well, he couldn't do it, but I kept looking. And then I looked all over Florida and Mexico and the Caribbean. And I came over the bridge on Fort Myers Beach, and I saw Cheech with his iguana on a leash. I saw somebody with a parrot in their bicycle basket. And I thought, what a wonderful place this is. What a fun and exciting place.
That guy with the parrot's still around, isn't
He's
he?
still around. I haven't seen him since the storm, unfortunately.
Does that parrot stuff come out of your clothes? I mean, he's got. Do you know?
I would hope.
Okay, I'm just wondering if it.
I would hope.
Yeah.
So, what were you doing before you went into all of the restaurant business then?
Well, I entered the restaurant business when I was 12 years old. I started as a bus girl for Mr. Ippolito in Atlanta.
Well,
And
thank you, Mr. Ippolito.
Thank you, Mr. Ippolito. He gave me my start, and he gave a young kid with no address and, tattered clothing. But I was reliable.
12 years old.
12 years old. I was reliable, and I worked hard. I had somewhere warm
Laws
to go.
have changed since then.
And I could
No, they
eat.
haven't.
I could go and have food there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and also get food for my family. So that was a good thing.
So Heather, you come to Fort Myers Beach and you decide that you're going to start Heavenly Biscuit.
And that's when I saw the cottage, and the cottage was for rent. So I contacted the owner, Miss Mary Lou, who was on the town council back early in the day. And we worked out a deal, and I changed the zoning. And it was right when the town had just been incorporated. So there was some, going back and forth about that. So we ended up changing the zoning. Jane Plummer and Anita Saracita are still around in town. And so they helped me with that. And Jessica Titus helped me find some housing. And the rest is history.
Wow.
Jessica
I used
Titus
to
is.
stand on the side of the road by my A-frame sign and wave to people
Yeah.
as they went by because it was a little tucked away.
Yeah. So Jessica is watching, and she says, "I love you, Heather. One of the hardest working people ever."
Thank you, Jessica.
So
I appreciate that.
What year did Heavenly Biscuit open?
2001.
2001.
And
Just you, or is it you
just
and
me. It was me, and my husband was still in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And he would travel back and forth every few months, and I stayed with the restaurant. And then I would work it by myself. I'd take the orders, I'd make the food, I'd deliver the food, and everybody told me season will be here, but I didn't really know what season was until my first season.
And they found you.
Oh, they found me, and they loved it. And I was so excited because nobody knew what a biscuit store was.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And in Atlanta, there's one on every corner, but nobody here
Really?
knew what a biscuit
No
store
kidding.
was. Yes.
So
It's a
It's a southern thing.
gotcha. So you own
and amazing.
you own Heavenly Biscuit, and then to what year were you the sole owner of it? And I know there's a transition there.
There was a transition, and then in 2015, I opened Mom's Restaurant, and it's just been a blast, and I just love it. I love it.
So
And
so in 2014 or 15.
2015.
So you're at Heavenly Biscuit owning that for 15
no,
years.
I was there for about 10 years.
10 years,
and
okay.
then I remarried.
Okay.
And
Same guy or different guy? Different guy.
Different
Okay.
guy.
So
And-
You'd be surprised.
I know a lot of people do
A lot of
marry
people
the same
do.
guy
Yeah.
twice.
she's tried to get away from me 3 times, but she's always back.
It's your
She's
magnetic
always knocking on the
personality.
door, asking me to take her back.
It's your big muscles.
Sure.
All girls like muscles.
Is that what it is?
They're
Wow.
delicious.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So, wow.
What kind of place are you running now?
Well, we're
this
not serving seafood
Mom's
yet.
cooking on the front and the male review show in the back?
I have to be honest with you. When
Okay,
I first
well,
took
please
over
do.
Heavenly Biscuit, apparently at one time there had been some shenanigans going on in the back. And the girl looked like me, and guys would come in and think that I was her.
And
wow.
what are you saying? They wanted more than
there's
biscuits?
kids.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll be doing that show later on tonight at 11
Yeah.
p.m. Behind a
an
that'll be
after
behind a
evening.
paywall.
Well, I'm pretty scarred up now. I don't think it would be too much to look at. But
Okay. All righty. So, Mom's was it a restaurant physical location, and where was it?
Okay, well, it started out at Getaway Marina. So we had a location there, and then we also had our mobile truck, which I would load up. It would be like the whole farmer's market would come to you, and I would ring the bell like the ice cream truck. And I'd go up and down, and I would do Main Street and all of the trailers there. And I had several stops here on the island and the condos and whatnot. It was a great service and everybody loved it. And it gave me the opportunity to kind of sit back and think about, I wanted to go back. After having a rest, I wanted to go back into the restaurant business. I miss the action. I miss the people.
Mhm.
So I found 2450 and we went in and opened it up, and we've just been serving great food and having fun since.
So 2450, give people kind of a,
It's between Mango Street. It's catty corner to the Heavenly Biscuit,
okay.
which we are working on rebuilding that one as well.
Okay.
So we want to do 2 projects, and the original plan was to move into the food truck park,
Oh,
and then that would give us an opportunity to continue to have an income
yeah.
while we built the other 2 properties.
Yeah.
So
So do you own the property where the Heavenly Biscuit used to be?
we have a super long-term lease on it.
Oh, so you own that.
A
It's not a big
crazy
piece of
long-term.
property, but it's
It's
prime. It's like
It's-
right on Estero Boulevard
yeah,
there.
it is. Well, no, it's not
No,
right
no.
on the boulevard. It's one back.
Okay.
And that was part of the reason in the beginning that my first husband was like, it's never going to work. And I said, it's not all about location, because people say location.
But reputation
Yeah.
will bring people
It
in.
will. They will come and find a dive.
Yeah.
Biscuits and cinnamon will
Cinnamon,
bring.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I constantly, my
Oh.
husband teases me. He says, you smell like bacon and cinnamon. That's why
Yes.
children and dogs love you.
So after Hurricane Ian hit, tell us kind of what you were
Okay.
thinking when you came over that bridge and saw
Well, here's the whole thing. I've been here through 5 presidents, countless red tides, countless tropical storms, hurricanes. We've had COVID.
Yeah.
The Works project made business difficult, and we stuck through that.
You talking about
And
the
I-
Estero Boulevard? Is that-
Uh-huh.
okay.
And I had stage 3 colon cancer, and I had a kidney removed.
Wow.
And the whole time I was able to keep my business open.
That's
Thanks
awesome.
to my wonderful people.
Yes.
Thank you. And for all the cards and the prayers and the thoughts, I could not have done it without that. And my wonderful, wonderful staff and my amazing husband.
Yes. Is your
Wow.
husband here today?
No, I had to leave him at the shop.
Oh, that's right. Somebody's got to cook.
somebody's got to be there.
He's amazingly running
The
things.
food's
He
not
does
as
a
good
great
right
job.
now.
I'm so fortunate to have him.
Yes. So, so you came over the bridge. You saw Ian, and what were you thinking?
Oh my gosh. Well, you always hope after every storm when you're coming over the bridge that even if the house is gone, please let the business be there. Well, the house was done, the business was done, and it was, you put away your money for just such occasions. You
Right.
have to have your savings.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared. So we spoke with Tom and the town and everything, and
Who's
we went
Tom?
Tom Swanbeck.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we all agreed that a food truck would be great there, and it would also give the people that were working here
Right.
and the people that were trying to get their homes back up and going a place to eat, and also a sense of normalcy, which is
Mhm.
so
Right.
important after such a devastating.
So,
Yeah.
so Tom Swanback owns that piece of property
Yes.
where the food truck is right
Yes.
now. So, is your plan before we get to the whole? I don't even know what you call it, controversy with the trailers. Is your plan to go to the food truck park or to rebuild or
The
both?
plan was this: the town agreed with us that we could stay where we were at 2450, and also we agreed that we would put another trailer at 110 Mango Street, the Heavenly Biscuit property.
Mhm.
So we went and bought a $70,000 trailer, and by the time it was ready, the town changed their mind. Now I'm out $70,000, and I have a brand new state-of-the-art trailer sitting there,
Oof.
not being used.
Like a food trailer?
A food trailer.
Not like a art. Okay.
No, it's
So-
a food trailer.
Oh, boy.
It's made to work, and it's a
It's
nice
sitting
one.
on the Heavenly Biscuit property.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be open, but the town changed their mind right as soon as we brought it on. And they would not issue the permit when
Okay.
they said that they would.
So just so everybody knows, make sure you tune in tomorrow. The town manager and the vice mayor are going to be hopefully everything will be fixed by then. But the town manager and really the entire hour is going to be about, I think, this FEMA stuff and
It's
all this
not
discussion
FEMA.
that's going
It
on.
is not FEMA. 100% not FEMA. FEMA said as long as you can move these trailers out in 4 hours, you're good. 2 months ago, there was a judge's ruling.
A judge's ruling?
Yes, that if these trailers could be moved out within 4 hours of a storm, they were not a problem.
I don't want to pretend like I understand, and I cover
don't
this stuff
understand it
all the
either.
time, and it's all people are talking about that I've run into today. Is there seem to be two things going on here? The town's 3-year deadline is September 23rd, and the town.
It took Homestead 17 years to rebuild.
Okay.
I don't think it will take Fort Myers Beach that long by any stretch.
Right.
But I think 3 years is a little unreasonable to think that people like us, regular, I want to say we're regular, everyday people. We don't have millions of dollars in the bank. And and also it's just, we have enough money to do what we need to do, but we cannot stop having an income.
So do you have, but part of the old discussion was if a business had a permit in the works in the portal, they could stay in their trailer on their property.
But they're not doing that now.
But let me ask you this: do you have any permits in the portal in the works?
Drawings.
You have drawings, but you haven't really gotten that far yet.
Right.
Okay.
And that is, I don't want to say anything bad about the town or anything like that. It's a very difficult job that they have, and there is a lot going on, and there's a lot of paper to look at and a lot of things to do. And sometimes I know that they are overwhelmed, and I feel for them, and I know that it's difficult.
So
and
Heather, has the town come to you and said, "Listen, you have to go"?
No, that we heard about it when the lady from the Wink News showed up at my trailer.
What news?
Wink News.
Oh, sorry.
She showed up, and that's when I heard about it. And I was like, "Are you kidding? What are you talking about?" So of course we looked it up right away.
Right. And so you haven't been told anything from the town yet. So
no,
but
I think that there is a solution. There's definitely a solution, and it's just a matter of banging that gavel, making some local legislation that allows people like us to have more time to rebuild.
How much time do you need?
Ideally, 5 years would be fabulous, but I think another 3 years would be great.
Yeah.
3 years is not too much to ask for to be completely built.
So how does the town deal with?
And that includes the time for the permitting and for the building and for and with any construction project, there's delays and there's. You got to wait on this, or the person that has to approve this permit is out of town for 2 weeks on vacation.
But what do we do? What do we do about FEMA? If FEMA comes over the bridge and they say, "Well, what are all these trailers doing all over the island?"
It is my understanding that FEMA does not care about the trailers as long as they can be moved out within 4 hours.
I think they changed that last week. I don't know why, but it seems like there's this new list of 252 properties. They're saying structures. Yeah. Well, I know that the mayor has a trailer in his driveway with wheels on it. It's not even.
It's a work trailer. It's one of those.
And he's on the list. He's on the that property.
Well, I
was
feel
on the
for
list.
him too because he's also a small business owner, and it's very difficult. It's a very trying time. It's a very confusing time.
Yes, sir. You have a question? Well, no, we need you just to talk into the mic so people that are watching can also hear you.
Yeah, what I have to say is that they last spring wanted everybody to bring all the permit holding properties.
Who's they?
Town.
Okay.
Up to standards for the 50% rule, and they gave us 5 days to look at it. But all the while, for the last 6 months before that, they were sending out emails saying the problem was flood. And what I did is send back engineering, my location surveys, where the setback line was for velocity zone, all that stuff. It didn't matter. I kept getting turned down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't recall having only 5 days to meet the 50% rule. That
Here's the thing about the 50% rule. The 50% rule is based on brand new prices to do brand new fixing.
Yeah.
With extremely high
Sure,
prices for
sure.
labor and
Yeah.
materials and so forth,
Yeah.
but they use ancient valuations to compare it to, like 2 or 3 year old estimates of what your house is worth from the county. That's unfair.
who knows what's fair? What's gonna land last,
who knows what's
especially
fair?
last
Who
week.
knows what's what? And
So-
there's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot of
There is a lot of
there's a lot
confusion.
of confusion.
Yeah,
And I think that if you go in and if you go down the boulevard, you take out all the trailers, what really are you going to have left?
Yeah.
Well,
There's
So-
not going to be a whole lot.
I mean,
You're
if
gonna
you
have
just look
to-
at Times Square, if everybody had to be out now by August 8th or even September 23rd, whatever.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, well,
I am not going anywhere.
all right.
you are chaining yourself to the front of that building.
I am. I've been doing it for 25 years.
What's going to be
And
a
if
whole
all
nother.
of
Rick
the
on the
things
roof.
that
Rick on the
my
roof.
business has been through, and it has stayed in business,
It's gonna be
I am
Heather on
not
the house.
going to allow 5 people to take my life away, to take my ability to provide for my family and for my employees' families away, and for the people that I have 6 employees.
Yeah. I mean, feel free. Yeah. It's an awful situation. Heather, I think you should, when you leave here, I think you should just get on the roof of your food truck and sit up there until you get what you want.
Unfortunately, I do not have the stamina that Rick did.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So if they
But the
tell,
willpower.
But the willpower is there, and I've been through a lot. And if I can take on the past, I can certainly take on
if
the
you
future.
can take on Atlanta in a car as a kid, this is going to be nothing. This
So-
is going to be piece of cake.
Well, I wish I could say that, but it's not a piece of cake. You have a lot of anxiety. Your heart hurts. Because it's it's a part of you. It
Right.
is something that you build, that you dream, that it is your entire existence when it is your own business and you have built it from the ground up.
Right.
I think about how to make people happy. I think about things that I can make that will wow people, that when they have it, that they'll be like, man, I'm having a good day. This is great.
Right.
And if you start your
And
day like
cinnamon
that,
will start it off
it's
great.
not just cinnamon.
I know.
Today I made Black Forest brownies, one of my very favorites. I made brownies with the peanut butter buttercream. I did a pineapple upside down cake.
gaining weight, just listening to you
and
talk about all that stuff.
berry rolls and peach rolls, and it's just so good.
So part of one of the questions that just came up is, are you willing to cost other islanders millions in discounts? And that's what the whole
I
thing
don't
is.
understand the whole thing, so I cannot make a statement on something that I don't have the knowledge about.
Right. I think the
So
dilemma.
I think that whole thing about the Islanders and it was explained to me one time by an insurance person that that's not really how it worked, but I don't have the knowledge to make a statement on that.
Yeah. I think what I was talking to some folks in Times Square before the show this morning, and they were all talking about the same stuff. I think the only thing that the business owners can do is you have to speak out. You have to organize and get together and go to a meeting or something, or I don't even know if that'll help. I mean, we'll find out tomorrow
Well,
when the town manager comes on, but I think there needs to be more
I think
people.
it's a bad idea just to shut everybody down, and especially to do it so quickly. And here's the rub for me. I had 3 council members, which I'm not going to throw under the bus, and I had various employees of the town who I also am not going to throw under the bus, tell me that I would be fine until the food truck park was built and I could move into the food truck park. So that's all we were going to do. And then we were going to build our 2 locations.
Yeah, I think what happened was people thought that they were going to get a different FEMA after the last election, and they didn't get a different FEMA. And I think whatever happened last
I
week.
just make cinnamon
Well,
rolls
I
and
think
biscuits. I don't keep up with a whole lot of politics. I mean, I keep up with basic politics, but I'm just a lady that makes cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, and your
biscuits.
point that when FEMA came through and said about if you can pull it with a light duty truck.
Yeah,
That's the
big
information
question.
you're operating
And
under.
that
'cause that's
information
what they said.
up until 2 days ago when we looked it up online, that was the
Now, Heather, let me ask you this:
information.
you must have a temporary use permit, right?
I do.
And it expires on 9/23, right?
right. But
2025.
but we went to the town and talked about our plans. And everybody said, fine, no problem. We're not going to enforce this. There's not going to be a big
Somebody said to you, "We're not going to enforce
more
this."
than one person.
Who are the people
I'm
that
not
said
willing
that?
to throw
Not gonna
those
say.
people under the
Okay,
bus.
but okay, so okay, all right.
But we'll work it out. It'll get done.
But you're not moving anywhere.
I'm not going
All right.
anywhere.
Any final
Anywhere, anytime.
any final punches you want to throw or thoughts you
I'm
want to throw
not a
out there?
fighter. I'm a lover.
All right.
She's a
What are
baker.
your what are
I'm
your
a baker.
what are your hours over at Mom's?
Well, now we're closed on Monday, but if things go sideways, we might be there every day all 24 hours to protect our trailer. But we're open Tuesday through Sunday from 7:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. And we don't just show up at 7:30. We get there early in the morning.
Well, you
Okay.
got to make this
You got to
stuff.
make that. And we're doing everything in that itty bitty trailer.
Wow.
Yes.
My prep area is literally all of my baking is a 12 by 12 table.
Wow.
And we're still getting it done.
Nice.
That's hard work.
Yep.
I think Ron wants to
Hi, Ron.
say something.
Ron loves
Fleming,
BLTs.
everybody. Ron
Yeah.
gave us a nice tour of
Love you too, dear.
Del Mar and Pearl Street this morning. Thank you for that, Ron.
You probably don't remember
Pearl
this, but when I first moved here, I'll say it was 2014.
Yes, you helped me with the signs at
Right.
the mall
At the
during the road project.
right. Well, I called you. I was off island, and you were making shrimp and grits then.
Oh yeah.
And I said, "You
And you brought me your own special shrimp you like too.
right?" Well, I also I said, "Well, are you going to? What time do you close?" I want shrimp and grits. She says, "Well, we're shutting down now." You said, "Well, I'll tie it to the doorknob,"
Well,
and it was there.
if I can't wait, and I always let people come, if something's not ready that they can have, I'll say, here, have a cup. We're not one of those places that locks the door and opens it exactly on time.
Right.
I'm not going to make someone sit there in their car and wait. I'll get a cup of coffee, have some juice, hang out.
Right.
And then as soon as I have something for you, I'll get it for you. I've always been like that.
I
And
wish
I
that-
stay late.
Just like at your mom's house.
It is. Just do not bring your laundry.
Yeah. Well, I wish they had somebody like you at Crunch Fitness on the way to the gym. I mean, open up the place on time. That's all. Well, thank you very much, Heather, and good luck.
Thank you for
and
having me,
Nice
guys.
to have
This was
you
really
on.
exciting.
Good.
And
glad
first
you
time
had a
I've
good
ever
time.
done
Big hand for
anything
Heather,
like this.
everybody, from Moms.
You're a natural.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Just remember to shut that one off because it causes feedback. And thank you, Heather. I know you got to get back to the food truck park. All right, we are going to work on the equipment for tomorrow. And if you want to come down tomorrow, we're going to be at Wahoo Willie's, where this is really going to be the big topic for discussion. The vice mayor will be there, and the town manager will be there. And just so everybody knows, this was a normal expected day off for the mayor. Nothing happened during the week where the mayor said, I don't want to be part of this. We had a conversation on Sunday after the show, and he said he just wanted to relax one weekend. And then this stuff just started to kind of steamroll during the week with the FEMA thing.
Right.
And it really, I know from having a conversation with the vice mayor yesterday, he said that we'll have some new information, or, at least updated information. Because when I said, when I posted on Facebook that people should call the town and see if they're on the list, well, the town sent out a clarification that says you can't call the town. And I'm texting back and forth to Mayor and John King, and I'm like, do you realize how asinine this sounds that your residents can't call you and ask you if they're on a list where you're going to send them a violation? And I said, are you going to call them and tell them they're on this new list that FEMA's come out with? And the answer was, we're not sure that we're going to call them and tell them. They needed to get clarification from FEMA. And I'm like, so FEMA was in town for 2 days and you all had these meetings and you still need clarification? That's the thing that's perplexing about it all. And so hopefully tomorrow people
get it
will know
straightened
whether
out.
they're going to get a call from the town or whether this whole thing's going to be enforced. I don't even think they know if the people on the list are, if thing is going to be enforced. And now we were talking to our good friends over here that live on the beach. I'm not going to say their names, but they're on. Here's the other part of the whole FEMA debacle. These folks have been on this FEMA mitigation grant list for almost 3 years now, where they're waiting for FEMA to release money that has been promised for 3 years so that they can rebuild their house.
And they cannot touch anything.
You're not allowed to touch your house, but they're in a trailer. So they're in a trailer on their property waiting for money from FEMA. And FEMA comes down and says, you're not allowed to have trailers on the beach. Do you realize how idiotic all of this sounds? All of it sounds crazy.
If it was coming out of your mouth, I wouldn't be surprised. But the fact that this is,
Yes.
somebody or a group that's supposed to be in charge of emergency management. You need someone who can make a decision, set a rule, and stick with it, not back and forth. It's an emergency.
Yeah.
So.
And the list of 252 properties, from what I think Dan said to me during the week, it's a bigger list than the first list. So FEMA, it was like they started over. It's like this week they started the whole process completely over, and it's back to square one. So, I mean, hopefully you guys will all get answers tomorrow. We'll be live at Wahoo Willie's at 10 o'clock, and we hope you can come down and enjoy the show from Wahoo Willie's.
And untease that ball of thread.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Like what? Not thread, but yarn. When your yarn gets all tangled up, or your necklaces, they're all tangled up. Takes forever to tease that out.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Oh, we'll draw the name out of the thing after we sign off on Facebook. We'll see you all tomorrow from Wahoo Willie's. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to Lee and to Heather for coming down.
Yes,
and
thank
we will
you.
talk to you tomorrow.